We're going to do a chocolate Marquise using a dark chocolate, a very rich, very delicious dessert that we serve in our restaurant. And you can serve it with just a bit of whipped cream, funny enough to make it lighter. So we're going to need cream, butter, sugar, egg yolks, chocolate, and a bit of cocoa powder. Cocoa powder, use high quality one because you will get a much better flavor at the end. So the first thing to do, you can whip your cream and keep it in the fridge, in a bowl. You can do it in a mixer if you want. Since we never do enough exercise, we like to do it by hand. In a bowl big enough, you try to do that movement to incorporate air inside your cream. That's what you do. When you whip cream also, make sure that you got a table at the right height. Not too high, not too low, otherwise you got a sore back. And if it's too high, you're gonna have a sore arm. You try to get a nice quality cream with a high amount of fat. Normally, the cheaper it is, the less fat there is. Cream has become nice and thick. In the fridge in the meantime. We're gonna go melt the chocolate and do the sabayon. Two things that we need to do together to control the temperature. So the sabayon, I've got my eggs, a soup spoon of water inside. It's helped to develop the eggs. I put my sugar, and I'm gonna do it over a double boiler. So we mix the sugar and the eggs. In a previous video, I've shown you how to do the béarnaise. We also do a sabayon, but obviously without sugar. And we did it, that time we did it directly onto the stove. You can also do it directly onto the stove, I'll show you. If you're not sure, do it in a double boiler. Double boiler doesn't touch the water, it's just the steam. Otherwise, directly onto the stove, it's faster. You must all the time be able to keep your hands onto the bowl. You can see as we whip, it's getting whiter and more fluffy. It's going to carry on to double of volume. So where early on we were doing a movement like this, here we do 8. You can also do it with an electric mixer. It takes about 5 minutes. See, it's getting thicker and thicker. Rather take your time than go too fast and your eggs are cooked too early and they don't develop. You can start to see the bottom of a bowl. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to start to melt the chocolate while I'm doing this. So we use 70% chocolate cocoa, but you can use a chocolate with less intense or one even more intense, like 85%. Personally, we like to use in our restaurant 70%. We think it's a good balance between the two. Put my chocolate inside the bowl and on the bain-marie slowly. Then you must take your time because otherwise if it goes too hot, too fast, it will seize. Carry on with my sabayon. See, it's really now getting nice and thick. Got like we say it's got a ribbon. So a little bit more. While I'm doing this, I'm checking my chocolate. I'm going to remove it. You see it's starting to melt. Not too much heat. You can see now it's really getting thick. Voilà. So I'm going to remove it, put back, mix my chocolate, a little bit more heat, and I'm going to add the cocoa powder into my eggs. So the cocoa powder, you take a little sieve, add your cocoa. It's to avoid the pieces like this, makes a little lump. So you press it, mix it. Everything's coming together. My chocolate is basically melting. I'm going to add my butter. Melt the butter inside the chocolate. See, the chocolate's got a nice shiny texture. Always be careful, never too much heat on chocolate. Then the butter is melted. We're going to add the sabayon into it. And then it's going to go very quick. We add the sabayon. Mix the sabayon inside the melted chocolate. Make sure you get a smooth texture. So that's done. And I need to leave it cool down a little bit because I'm going to introduce the cream into it. So we don't want it to be too warm. So now I've mixed the first like a third and I'm going to add the rest all in one go. I go from the middle and to the bottom, and I fold it over as I turn the bowl at the same time. And I slowly incorporate my cream into the rest of my mixture. So you see, now I've got that nice even texture. We take a nice spoon in each of them. So you can tap it one or twice to make sure that it goes well into it. And then we add a little bit in each of them. So what's left, you can also use a small ramequin, make a small individual portion, or a big one. That's really, we use that shape. But the nice thing about the silicone mold, because they're flexible, when you hand mold them, you can turn them upside down, much easier to hand mold. So now we put this into the freezer to get them hard. It's easier to hand mold. But you can, if you're not in a hurry, you can leave them in a fridge overnight. But remember, when you hand mold them, you've got to be quick because it's chocolate, it's cream, it's butter, it's going to melt. Here they go into the freezer. Now, this one, obviously, we've done them before. We hand mold them. When we serve it, and I know it's a bit of a, as we say, a paradox, we had cream to make the whole thing lighter. So we just put a little bit of whipped cream, but you can also serve it with ice cream. We have here a bit some caramelized almond that we put on it, and a bit of a crushed one. The portion can look small, but it's deceptive. It's such a rich dessert that you don't want actually much more than that. Voila, enjoy it.